All right, everybody, welcome back. Good late afternoon now. We have made it to the end of the day. We have made it to the final wide receiver breakdown video of the day. There will be a stream tonight with the Hawks Nest. For those of you who may have forgotten, please tune in. We're going to talk about these receivers all over again. We're going to get an alternative perspective from another draft evaluator. So, see what's up. But, yeah, we got three more guys to get through here. Three more guys who are projected to go in the third round. And then tomorrow, we can devote our attention entirely to the guys who are day 3 in all likelihood. First guy, Brenden Rice of USC. And yes, this is that Brenden Rice, USC, son of Jerry. So he's got a lot to live up to. Probably won't be as good as Jerry Rice. Probably, but I guess stranger things have happened. 22 when the season starts. Good size, 6'2", 208 pounds, 33-inch arms. Really long arms for a receiver. 9 and 5/8 hands. Testing was mixed. 40 was average. Acceleration average. The explosiveness is average. The bench press is a little below average. It's all, like, whatever. It's fine. Not really his calling card. You can see that the big boards mostly put him in the third. One puts him in the second. One puts him in the fourth. Aggregate puts him in the third. That seems like a reasonable expectation to me. Playing with Caleb for the most recent couple of seasons. Didn't have a monster 2023, but he did play pretty well. 800 yards on 45 catches, only 2 drops, 12 touchdowns. I mean, he's doing something right for sure. He's got a good PFF grade. The year before, he was fairly effective as well. Became a much bigger big play threat in 2023. Improved his hands significantly. Got a nose for the end zone. So Brenden Rice definitely doing something right to get our attention here. His bloodlines in the NFL, I mean, you want to talk about a guy who's learning from the best, my goodness. He's got good size. He's great when the play goes off script. And that's something you learn under Caleb. When the play breaks down and the quarterback's just running for his life, you find a way to open up in front of him. You find a way back to the play so that you give your quarterback a chance to make a play. Really good at that stuff. Gives a lot of effort at the catch point. He's going to lay out for the ball. He's going to fight through coverage. He's not always going to make the catch, don't get me wrong, but he's going to give everything he's got to try to make it happen. He's got good route running in terms of breaking it off cleanly, plays with a rough physicality, and he's got good hands. So Brenden Rice looks like a pretty good prospect. Now, he's not much of an athlete. He's a pretty average athlete as far as receivers go. Not that his father was a great athlete either, but he's not bringing some of the advantages to bear that these other guys have, so it has to be noted. Doesn't really do well against press coverage, which is disappointing because he is a bigger guy and could theoretically beat it, but doesn't really get open well against press. Sometimes in man defense, he gets stuck to his defender. He just doesn't have the ability to separate. Doesn't win through contact often enough. Like, he tries, but usually when he's in traffic making a catch or when he's getting contacted making a catch, he doesn't complete the play. And he takes a while to get up to speed on the field. He just doesn't really have acceleration. So there's some good things with Brenden Rice, and it's going to be fun to have him in the NFL. It's going to be a great story, but most of what he has to offer would be good hands and clean route running. He's got effort, but he doesn't have the athletic ability to make that effort count for everything that it could. So I'd say third rounder's okay, but it's close. Like, are we overrating him because of his dad? And is it fair to overrate him because of his dad? Is that an element that needs to be weighed heavily in here? I don't know, but I'll go third round on him, but just barely inside the top 100 for me. Javon Baker of UCF is our next guy to take a look at here. Interesting one, 22, 6'1", 202 pounds, 32 and a quarter arms, 9 and 5/8 hands. Testing was overall just okay. The speed and acceleration's not really there. The vert is okay. The broad's average. So just kind of a forgettable athlete. All the big boards have him in the top 100, though. And the aggregate has him in the top 100 as well. So probably a third-round pick. Big play machine last year for UCF. 52 catches, 1,139 yards. That's over 20 yards a catch, which is really good. That's like Marvin Mims territory. 7 touchdowns, 6 drops. We don't love the drop rate. He drops way too many passes. We'll talk about that in a second here, but good overall PFF grade. 2022, he was also good. Actually had more catches just for way fewer yards. So the stats are pretty good. He does use his hands when he catches. I want to be clear about that. We're going to talk about the drops in a second, but he's got a nice catch radius and he catches with his hands. So it's not like he's a body catcher. I'll give him that much. He's really good at shifting between speeds when he's running his routes. That's an important part of this. Important part of the ability to get open reliably. He's also a good off-script playmaker, just like Brenden Rice was. If you go off-script, he's going to find a way to keep up with the play. So, gotta love that. Gotta love a guy who helps out his quarterback. He's a physical receiver. He plays with a lot of strength. He plays physically. He's somebody who can win on his strength. He's somebody who will out-muscle his guy at the point of catch and win plays that way. His route running is mostly really good. It's not all perfect, but he's a better route runner than most guys in this class. And his ball tracking is really good too. All that being said, he's got 14 drops on less than 110 catches over the last 2 years. That should definitely be troublesome for people. That's a very high drop rate. So, got to improve the hands. He's doing things right on a fundamental level, but it's just not working. He builds separation really well, but sometimes he gives it up at the last second and allows the defender to get back in the play. He's not a good run blocker, which is a little disappointing because he is such a physical player overall. He should be a better run blocker than this. And he's just not a very good overall athlete, so he can't overcome these shortcomings easily. So, Javon Baker, there are some things holding him back here, but the tape is fun. You watch him play, it's a lot of fun. So it's hard to make sense of this one. His traits and tools are kind of forgettable, but the tape is fun. He's got a lot of drops, but he's a good route runner. He's better than most young receivers running routes. I don't know if I can put him in the top 100. I don't know if I see this guy as a day 2 guy. I think he's an early 4th rounder. He's a day 3 guy for me. There's just a ceiling here that I don't think he can penetrate. I don't think he's going to be much more than like a backup in this league. I think there are too many limitations here, especially with the drops. Like, this might be the highest drop rate we've seen so far in these videos. And I know these are the best of the best. We're talking about top 100 guys. But this guy might have the worst hands of anybody we've looked at here. And it's not like he's a body catcher where it would be explainable and easily teachable. He might just have bad hands. He might just be naturally unable to bring in all the passes he needs to. I don't know. One more round 3 guy, the last guy who is currently projected to go in the top 100 of the draft from the database is Malik Washington of Virginia. And this one's really fun. This one's unique, interesting, and appealing, I think. 23, 5'8.5", 191 pounds. So he's small, but inch for inch, it's not that bad. And we'll come back to that in a second here, why that's important. Short arms, 30 3/8, 9 1/4 hands, though, so the hands are pretty nicely sized. Decent speed at the combine, decent acceleration, but not really what you want to see from a guy who's 5'8.5". The vertical was insane, 42.5. Good broad, good bench press, so unique mixture of physical tools and athletic ability. Couple of the big boards put him in the 3rd round. One PFF puts him in the 4th. ESPN actually has him way down in the bottom 6. They don't like him very much, but the aggregate currently holds him, not by much, but they hold him in the top 100. And he's coming off a crazy good season, 110 catches in the 2023 year, 1,400 yards, and 9 touchdowns. And take a look at this drop rate, by the way. Over the last 2 years, he's got 175 catches and 4 drops. That's as good as anybody we've looked at today, I think. So, remarkable. Really good PFF grade last year, too, by the way, 91.1. So, the production is eye-popping and indicates an ability to be a high-volume target. His catch radius is big, even though he is small, because he's such a fighter. When he sees the ball in the air, he goes for it, and he finds a way to make a play on the ball when most people wouldn't be able to. He's got great hands. We can see that by the drop numbers. Doesn't drop very much at all. He runs with power, even though he's smaller, and that's the fun thing here. This guy has a low center of gravity, so even though he's small, he runs like a power back, and he breaks tackles. He pushes through defenders to get extra yards, and it actually works. So that is kind of what makes this unique and fun. And who knows how long it'll last, but it should last for a little bit. Ideally, you want your power guy to be bigger, but that doesn't mean this can't work. He is stout. He is well built. He's just short. So he makes plays through contact. Again, even though he's smaller, he can make a play while getting contacted. He can make a play in traffic. And he's got a great feel for playing wide receiver. He's got a great feel for finding the opening in the zone defense and sitting down in it and waiting for the ball. Now, his route tree was very simple at Virginia. He's going to have to find more routes to run in the NFL if he wants to make it. He doesn't separate well from press coverage. Press coverage eats him up, which makes sense when you're a smaller guy. The technical aspects of route running are not really there. He's kind of a lackadaisical route runner, which works okay in college at Virginia, but it's not going to work elsewhere. Not going to work in the NFL especially, so gonna have to clean that up. And his size is still an obstacle. Even if he can overcome it, it's not like he's got burner speed to make up for it. So he's unique, he's fun. I don't know if he'll make it or not for sure, but I think he's going to make it. I think he's going to find a way. I think there's enough here for me to look at and go, this guy will find a way to be an impact player in the NFL, even if it's only for a few years. So I'm going to take him in the third round. I take him in the third. I feel pretty good about that. I think he finds a way. So third round grade on Malik Washington, and that'll do it for this set, and that'll do it for the third rounders. That'll do it for today. So tomorrow, and well, we're going to talk about them tonight in the stream, of course, but tomorrow we will be going through the day 3 crop. So tune in. See you guys later. Go Hawks. More receiver stuff soon, but we got to take a little bit of a sabbatical after how hard we went at it today.